All right, guys, buckle up because this MindsEye disaster just keeps getting worse. If you thought the early reviews were bad, spoiler alert, they were only the tip of the iceberg. This game is a glitchy mess, the kind of mess that makes you question how it even got past Q&A. I have not seen as epic of a fail of a video game launch since Cyberpunk 2077, where in that case, there was also tons of people upset. The game was glitchy. People were asking for refunds, and this seems like a repeat of it. And it's wild to think that a game made by former Rockstar developers would flop so hard. I was excited for this game. I'm not even going to spend my money on it. This better become a PlayStation Plus game within the next 3 months, or else I'm never going to play it. That's how like turned off I am from the whole situation right now. And I've been seeing everybody just trashing. I haven't seen one positive thing about MindsEye at all. So first off, players, they're not just trashing the game on Steam, guys. They're actually getting refunds from Sony PlayStation. Again, like I said, this is like the Cyberpunk situation. Sony's giving refunds. Let that sink in. Okay, Sony is notorious for never, ever, ever giving refunds. Suddenly, they're waving them around like Oprah. You get a refund. You get a refund. You get a refund. Everybody gets refunds. That's how bad this is. That's right. MindsEye is officially worse than most games to ever get that treatment. And again, like I said earlier, only Cyberpunk 2077 had that similar nightmare launch on PlayStation. And to be completely honest, Cyberpunk looks like the best game of all time next to MindsEye. I saw RGT85 make a video saying that this is easily the worst game of 2025. And if he says that, it's got to be big if it's true, right? I just can't comprehend how much of a flop this is. And there was hype behind it. People were excited. And no, this isn't just about a quick 2-hour refund window that's on Steam, right? You play the game less than 2 hours, you can refund it on Steam. This is like real, full-on refunds from Sony's stubborn system. Their rules. they're just flat out refunding people, no matter how long of length that they've played. That's when you know it's bad. And on top of that, here is some icing on the cake. If that wasn't bad enough, the developers are straight up canceling sponsored streams last minute. Yeah, usually developers, marketing companies, they do sponsored live streams from big creators to hype up and drive engagement and people buying games. Yeah, they're canceling anybody that has a sponsored stream for this last minute at that. So imagine you're a streamer and you're hyped for your sponsored live stream. You're like, oh, I'm going to get early access. I'm going to play this game, and I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get a bag. You plan your whole entire day around this. You got your viewers ready, and then boom, when everybody's set to go, the sponsor backs out on you mid-launch. That's not a good look. That is not a good look, guys. So there's a streamer by the name of Carnage, who's a pretty well-known streamer. I personally haven't watched him, but they said it was the first time in their entire streaming career that a sponsor just ghosted them completely like that. Big yikes, guys. That is just embarrassing. Like, super uber embarrassing. And it's their game, by the way. It's like the sponsor is also the developer of the game, and you're pulling out. Like, there's a no-win situation here. As a matter of fact, it looks even worse for you to pull out instead of just letting them have the sponsored stream and the game look terrible. Now it's like, what are you guys covering? What are you guys hiding? What are you guys not allowing streamers to do? Now it's like, wow, this game is so bad that they're not letting people stream it for money. I would have just let people play it. If you made some sponsored streams, arranged and you had the business deals, just pay them off. Let them do their job. Let them play the game. People might tune in and play it because it's bad. I mean, look at Saints Row 2022, which, oddly enough, that game was notorious. That game was bad. And this game looks worse than that. I can't believe they did it, but you guys outdid Saints Row 2022. Congratulations. You blew it, right? So, any game like this has glitches, right? Let's talk about the glitches. They're absolutely legendary with this. We're talking cars driving through other cars, which Cyberpunk did the same type of thing. NPCs that pop in and out of existence like magic tricks that are going wrong, and AI that can't react to anything in a timely fashion. That's all pretty standard for subpar open world games, right? Why are we surprised about this? I mean, sometimes Skyrim still acts up exactly like that as well. And then, of course, there's video game crashes. Those are infamous. They make you want to throw your console controller through your TV or take your console and just throw it right through your wall. It's Can we get an open world game that doesn't have any kind of weird glitches like this? Anything. There's YouTube compilations out there that are already over 10 minutes long just showing the bugs, and they're absolutely hilarious. If you find yourself some time and you're bored, look up MindsEye bugs or MindsEye glitches. You'll see some of the most hilarious stuff out there. And the player count, oh my god, this is where a lot of games fall. Okay, when you look at the player count that's on Steam, it peaked around 3,000, which might actually be, in my opinion, 2,999 players. Way too many. That's the long running joke, by the way, but imagine being excited for this game and you're working on it, you're developing it, your resumes that you used to work at Rockstar, you can't even get more than 3,000 people to play. You're a complete failure. So the developers released a statement claiming that they are heartbroken about the troubles. And I'm not trying to kick somebody when they're down. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse or laugh when people are in trouble and stuff. But sure, guys, save the crocodile tears, okay? They've admitted to a memory leak that's causing crashes, something that you would never ship with. So there was no QA on this. They said that they're working on hot fixes, but the game's been out for days at this point, and it feels like those patches are just desperate attempts to salvage a sinking ship. Okay, there's no Q&A. You let this game go out as it is. This is embarrassing. Like I said, the last game that I could think of that was even remotely similar to this was Cyberpunk, and that was like a big deal. I remember covering that like near daily, multiple stories, talking about how it was such a colossal failure that both the Xbox store and the PlayStation store and PC were just taking refunds. They didn't even allow console review copies for Cyberpunk 2077. So this is embarrassing, guys. This is not just a bad game, okay? Look. Honestly, from the bottom of the heart, this is not just a bad game. This is an embarrassment. It's a developer that obviously pushed out a broken game, whether it was to meet deadlines or maybe Corpo was just saying, hey, you better get it, or they just rushed it. Maybe they didn't know what they're doing. Maybe they thought you guys wouldn't care. They're charging full price for it. Then they're hoping that a patch could fix everything. Welcome to modern gaming, right? As much as I love modern gaming, stuff like this makes me remember why it gets on my nerves. And that's how developers, that's how studios, that's how video game companies destroy trust, right? Put something out that ain't up to speed. There's no quality behind it. You're charging a full premium price for it. And you expect people to not get angry. It's almost like you're insulting the gamer's intelligence. And I don't know how I feel about that still to this day when companies still do that. I know it's easier said than done. I haven't personally made a video game. I haven't worked on video games. But this is unacceptable. As a consumer, as somebody that plays video games, I'm glad I didn't buy this game because I would be very upset. And everybody has the right to complain about what they're spending their hard-earned money on. Okay? We're the consumers. We're the people that you should be working hard to please. The people that you should be working hard to entertain, make good games. But instead, everything that we're seeing is just half-baked. Constantly. Okay? And it's not just the devs that look bad with this, in all honesty. Streamers get stuck in the crossfire. So that individual that was losing that sponsorship deal, that's after them being forced to promote garbage. So imagine this game did come out. Then you're having those people promote garbage. Promote a bad game. That's just bad business around. Or they lose sponsorship, like in this case. So if you thought Cyberpunk was a mess, MindsEye is giving it a run for its money. Obviously and clearly. So will MindsEye bounce back? Maybe, but I wouldn't hold your breath. I wouldn't hold my own breath. If Sony's handing out refunds this early, you know it's serious. For me, And for now, this game is a cautionary tale of hype, of bad judgment, and an absolute failure to deliver on what's promised for a game. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Hit that subscription button if you haven't. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.